Hello and welcome back to Shay and Jordan Go Boating. I'm Jordan,
I'm
and who are you?
Shay.
That's
I'm
great.
Shay.
That's
And we
great.
have a very special guest on this
We have
episode.
a very
Very
special
first
guest here today.
inaugural. Did I say that right?
Inaugural,
Inaugural. Anyways, the first one.
number one guest. Everyone, welcome Michael McKeown. Clap, 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 clap. Hey, Michael.
Hello, thank you for letting me be on your show.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's very
It's
exciting
an
to have a
honor.
guest. And
Long-time
as
listener.
long time listener, that's great. What's it? How far you got? What's your most recent ep you've listened to?
I've had some day actually, because I've listened to 2 episodes today to try and catch
Oh
up,
my god!
Oh,
Wow,
wow.
you're in the
That's
zone.
so
and
nice.
and I watched all of Vox Lux as well today.
And
Holy
Magnolia.
shit.
Yeah,
Spoilers.
no, I watched Magnolia yesterday.
Oh, okay. Well,
That's a busy day.
because
Yeah.
we have a guest here today, we're doing things a little differently. So when we have guests on, we've decided we're going to let them have a little pick, and they get
Mm-hmm.
to pick any film they want under the sun, as long as it's not on our chain yet. I just made that rule up, but that makes sense, right?
Yeah, no, I stand
Um,
by that. That's great.
okay, yeah, I've always said that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
So, Michael, today, what film have you chosen for us to watch? I did already say, but
uh, Magnolia.
Magnolia, Paul Thomas Anderson's 1999 Magnolia. How
Mm-hmm.
exciting, huh?
Yes, very exciting.
Had you seen this film before, Michael?
Never.
Wait,
Wow. And isn't that
really?
crazy?
Yeah, it's just I think so. I picked it because I like Paul Thomas Anderson, and this was like the last a big one of his, maybe, that I hadn't seen. Although I don't know, his first one, maybe I haven't seen either.
Hard eight.
Hard
Hard
eight.
Eight, haven't seen that.
I'd give it a hard 2 out of 10.
No.
It's
Yeah,
dog shit. It's
it's
Is
terrible
it
not
movie.
really?
good.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Terrible
Well, I
fucking
guess I've
movie.
seen all the good ones then.
Yeah, you
Now.
don't
Yeah,
bother
yeah,
with
yeah.
that one.
What makes Michael such a special guest is he well we go back in the podcasting sphere. Our defunct animal collective podcast
It's on
slash
hiatus.
movie podcast. It's on hiatus. It'll come back.
Yeah.
And Michael is also the genius. Is that the word you said you wanted to use, Michael? The genius behind the music,
The theme tune, yeah.
the theme
The
tune for Shane Jordan Go Boating.
genius behind the theme tune, yeah.
And what a great theme tune it is.
It's the only piece of music I've ever made.
Wow.
Oh,
Believe it
wow.
makes me a genius.
Very impressive. So yeah, we just kind of wanted to get together today and sort of talk about your process, like what I'm just kidding. What inspired you to
Make the theme tune. You asked me to do it. That's what inspired
very
me.
good, very good. Um,
That's beautiful.
And actually, I didn't even make it because I had already made it in the past.
yeah, Michael has this habit of when I ask him to make music for projects that I'm doing, he just sort of grabs something out of his little bag of shit that he's concocted over the years and just goes,
Leftovers.
Just
Yeah.
is this one all right?
recycle.
This one
Yeah,
work?
leftovers
Yeah,
from the
hey,
fridge.
I liked
I'll
it
put
and
some
I
I'll
had
put
no
some more
idea.
I'll put some more water sounds under this one and you can have it, yeah?
That is literally what happened, yeah.
So Mike, did you listen to our episode about passages? Because it looks like you got a little bit of a passages in the background there.
No, I haven't. That's the only one that I've listened to yet, because it only came out today. And
It did only come out today. You've had a
That's a
busy
good
day.
point. Yeah.
yeah, I've been
And
listening
I
to all
don't
the
know how
other
you
episodes today. So
What were you gonna say,
busy.
Shay?
I had so many thoughts in my head. It's all lost now.
Yeah, it's a shame when you have so many, all just sort of sit on top of each other, and then when you can't get it out,
Yeah,
they all just sort of disappear,
totally. They
and then
blend
you're
together.
thoughtless without
This is
thought.
Mm-hmm.
crazy watching the podcast happen in real life, you know.
You are the podcast right now.
Wow. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
meta.
that must be surreal. Yeah.
I've broken the fourth
And
wall.
it's been all in your head all day, and then suddenly you become it. It's
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah, that's very powerful.
Mike,
But
Um,
I haven't listened.
if you were to make did you ever have one of those teachers who tried to make lessons fun by making things into song?
No.
Okay.
all right.
Moving on. So, Mike, we're here to talk about Magnolia, which is very exciting. And Shay, obviously, your experience with Magnolia, you must, being a little film nerd that you are, you must have had seen this at least once, huh?
Yes, sir. Saw it once before, many years ago.
How
Did
many
you
years
both
ago?
watch it recently?
Just
I
watched it today.
Yeah,
Just got
great.
it right before this.
fresh in the mind.
There was a lot I didn't remember. Specifically the opening. I did not remember that at all.
Oh, interesting. That's fun.
And then the main thing I did remember was William H. Macy's sleeves being so like rolled up, and it always bothered me. Like, why are they so
Are they
rolled up?
Are they rolled up, or is that part of the suit?
Is that the look? That's a good question.
I think it's very 80s. That's what I said out loud. I watched it with Charlie yesterday, by the way.
Charlie, Mask Charlie.
Yeah, Mask Charlie.
Very good.
And that was something he pointed out. The suit was weird, and I was
does
like,
he like
okay.
that movie?
80s.
Did you watch it with someone who had seen it before then?
Yeah, he'd seen it before, but I think he forgets about films a lot that he's seen. So he was like predicting the film, like what would happen. And I was like, Charlie, you've seen this film.
That's what I always do. And then
frogs.
I spoil
I
it.
reckon frogs are going to rain from the sky.
That's a big spoiler, Jordan. Are we allowed to spoil it or not?
We can spoil Magnolia. It's fucking 20 fucking years old, 30 years old. How old is this movie? 25 years old. 24 years old. Okay. Do you think it'll get a big release next year? Big 25th anniversary re-release?
That'd be nice.
Gotta.
So yeah.
Can you hear Sarah sneezing, by the way?
No, I can't hear you sneezing.
Okay.
Michael's got a guest in the background there. He's just sneezing.
I'm just going to keep
Sneezing
doing
away.
angry glances over to my right.
Yeah, I don't really know how we want to approach this. I mean, well, no one even asked me about my experience with the movie, which I think is quite rude.
Oh, sorry. I figured you were just gonna say because you're kind of leading, but now I feel bad.
Well, you
Jordan,
can ask me now.
Jordan.
Oh, hey Shay.
So,
hey Shay.
Have you seen this movie before? And what are your thoughts?
What movie?
The movie Magnolia that we're talking about.
Oh yeah, no, I have seen Magnolia before. So obviously I can see Sarah's feet wriggling in the background there.
Your feet.
It's fine.
Slowly come back.
So yeah, I mean, as a teenager getting into movies, PTA is one of obviously the big ones that you hear.
That's something I wanted to ask about was because I'm not like a movie nerd like you guys. I wanted to get that out the way early.
A regular nerd, huh?
Well, it's not my music is my passion, of course.
Yeah, we didn't really say that you're a musician or anything. We didn't give much context on that.
Yeah, I think Michael speaks for himself, but yeah, Michael's a very talented musician. He's pointing to his guitar behind him there for the video people. And he's made the music for my films as well. Which is nice. He's very good.
Beautiful.
Very talented chap.
I'm blushing.
And yeah, Michael's a bit of a music expert. I mean, I like to talk with Michael's probably my number one person in the world to talk about music with. He's got his finger on the pulse. So yeah, you are a music man. We're film nerds. So what was your question, Michael?
Is he Paul Thomas Anderson? Because I feel like there's like levels to being a basic film person.
Yeah, sure.
Like if you tell people you're into Tarantino, for example, people are like, "This guy's a loser." What rung along not being a loser are you?
I think that's a really good
like
question.
Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah.
For me, he sort of falls in that sort of middle ground territory where if you're like, everyone can appreciate him and it'd be okay. But if he's like your number one and you like stan him or whatever, as they say, or like can't stop talking about him, he's in the same level of like Kubrick for me, where it's like, yeah, you can like their movies, but don't make it your personality, I think that's often the problem with PTA fans. But I mean, arguably, he is one of the better American filmmakers out there who work within like the studios and stuff like that, I'd say.
Sure.
What do you think, Shay?
I agree mostly. I kind of think I think it's cool. He's a cool director in the sense that like it could be somebody who doesn't love film's favorite movie, like one of his movies, and someone who's super into film could say it's their favorite movie, and I wouldn't think that was weird, I guess. But
yeah.
Like you said, it is like if they're like standing him so hard, it is like it's annoying and it makes you feel like they haven't explored film that much. But
yeah,
like
that's the problem with almost any American filmmaker that someone picks as their top. It's like it's kind of suspect if there isn't at least like someone from outside America in your top 5 filmmakers, you know?
Yeah. But I would say that like 2 of his movies are like really, really, really important to me. And I'm like obsessed with 2 of them.
Which 2 of those, my friend?
I forgot what the name of one.
There's no point. I don't even know.
The Master and Phantom Thread are like unbelievably masterpieces to me. Unbelievable masterpieces to me. Yeah. I love
so
them.
That's funny because my 2 are Inherent Vice and Licorice Pizza.
Wow. You won't believe this.
What are yours, Mikey?
Boogie Nights. And probably Licorice Pizza as well.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like them all.
I do love Boogie Nights too. But yeah, I mean, he's an all-round pretty great director. And actually, Punch Drunk Love. What am I talking about?
Punch Drunk Love is so good too.
Yeah, fuck. He's great, isn't he? I think he's probably the best filmmaker of all time.
Yeah.
He's probably definitely 3 of my top 5.
Him, Kubrick, and Tarantino, right?
Scorsese.
Yeah, totally. Coppola.
Fincher, the Finchman.
Finch. Yeah.
And Coppola. Those are the guys. Mount Rushmore of 5, 6 men. That's kind of my guys. When I go to film, when I think about film, yeah, oh my god, the guy that did Avatar.
The guy that did Avatar.
Oh, I love that guy. Can't get enough of that guy. You know, he actually went underwater.
Yeah.
He went underwater for like many of his movies. He like went under there, and he saw what it was like. He saw what it was like down there.
Totally.
And then he showed us.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
That's pretty cool. So Magnolia is an interesting one. Obviously, this is his 3rd feature film. See, I don't understand how people like this end up making movies because, okay, so Paul Thomas Anderson's father was in the television industry. He was like a TV presenter or something. Like he did like whatever. He goes to film school. Or not film school. Yeah, he goes to film school, right? Something like that. Goes to college, whatever. Starts making these short films. Is working as like an assistant, a production assistant on a film, and approaches Philip Baker Hall, who's like on this film, and is like, "Here's a script I have for a short. Will you be in it?" And Philip Baker Hall's like, "Yeah, this is great. I'll do it." And that's all it takes, man. He makes this short, and he gets all of these actors. He's got like Miguel Ferrer, you know. Is that how you say his last name? You know, the guy from Twin Peaks? Miguel Ferrer. And some other fucking famous person in this short called like Coffee and Cigarettes or something. I feel like it's something like that. Cigarettes and Coffee? I don't know. And then from that, he gets funding to make Hard 8. And then with Hard 8, you know, he's getting all of these actors, these big actors in to make his movies. And I feel like this just would never happen in this day and age, that you can start with just approaching an actor on a set and then them being like, yeah, sure. And then you getting to make these movies. And then from then on, obviously, after Hard 8, he gets this budget for Boogie Nights, and then Boogie Nights fucking blows up, and then he's like untouchable forever, you know?
It was a different time.
It was a different time. It just kind of bums me out.
You don't think that could happen now? Like approaching an actor? And
well, he's already in the biz, to be fair, with his dad.
Right? That's true.
Kind of. But it's more like, I don't think an actor would really have the power, especially a Philip Baker Hall type, to be like, yeah, man. And I don't think an actor would accept to be in your short, even if it was really good, for like 10 grand. You know?
With didn't the Safdie brothers try to get Adam Sandler to be in one of their movies, or like earlier than it actually happened?
Oh, really? Yeah, probably.
I didn't know that.
I mean,
Maybe
I feel like
they
they were
approached him with the script for Uncut Gems like 10 years before or something like that.
right.
Maybe not 10 years, but
but yeah, it's just one of those things where on paper I read this story and I'm like, but how do all these things fall into place so perfectly? And then you get to just keep making stuff.
Yeah.
But then Hard Eight, because I don't even know if Hard Eight was success or anything. I didn't even look into this. I don't even know how he ends up getting the budget to make Boogie Nights, because that's quite an
Yeah, I
expensive
don't
movie.
either. But I did see that because Boogie Nights was such a success, they were like, do whatever you want for your next movie.
Yeah, he got full carte blanche to be like,
yeah,
anything, literally anything.
literally anything.
So
and that's how he became 3 hours.
3 hour.
So this is directly after Boogie Nights.
This is directly after Boogie Nights, yeah. So
what year is Boogie Nights?
Boogie Nights is 97.
Yeah.
So he makes these shorts back in 93, and then gets the ball rolling from there. So yeah, with Magnolia, he's a new darling. Everyone wants to work with him. He writes a script for Magnolia with lots of different actors in mind. Obviously, actors that he's worked with on Boogie Nights, but then all of these huge name actors who he's always wanted to work with or whatever. So also, I think it's worth noting how fucking young he is at this point. He's only 26 when he makes Boogie Nights, right?
That's crazy.
He's 28 when he makes Magnolia. That's how old I am now. I think the difference between me and Paul Thomas Anderson, right?
Just the one.
Cocaine.
I knew you were gonna say cocaine. It really is.
So this is, to me, a movie written by a man who loves cocaine.
Sure.
Or at least at the time loved cocaine, does lots of cocaine, and thinks what he's writing is extremely profound when most of the time it's fucking nonsense. So this was my hot take, right? So in the past, I've really liked Magnolia. I've always cited it as like, fuck yeah, I love Magnolia, right? This time round, I found myself like rolling my eyes so much at this movie. I don't know, Shay, you're somebody who's seen it before. What was your reaction this time around? Because I remember you saying you weren't a big fan of it in the past.
I have never really connected to it. Obviously, I respect PTA, but I just found it super corny, and I still find it corny.
It's so corny. Mike, how did you, again, your initial reaction before we get into it, how did you like it?
I really loved the opening, the first like 20 minutes, because it's very PTA. It's very like lots of stuff.
What he does best, sure.
Yeah, it's like very montagey. And I'm a bit like, this is crazy. It's crazy because you have the intro, and then you have like a second intro.
Yeah.
Which is like introducing all the characters. And it doesn't like calm down for like 20 minutes.
Are you talking about like One is the Loneliest Number opening?
Yeah, but then there's been a whole bit before that, which is
what's the bit before that? I already forget.
with the coincidences,
like the 3 deaths.
Oh yeah. Okay, yes.
So yeah, continue, Michael. Sorry.
And then I don't know. It's it's definitely the least fun I've had watching one of his films, I'd say. Or I don't know. Maybe I feel like I was laughing quite a bit. Maybe at bits that weren't traditionally funny, but Charlie was like stone faced the entire time. He was like, this was depressing as fuck.
It is depressing.
It is pretty depressing.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to get into it through this opening, because I think it sort of speaks to what I think is the problems.
Wait, but I have a question for Mike.
Please, absolutely.
Being a musician, I'm wondering what you think about like the Amy Mann.
There's 2 Supertramp songs.
Yeah, that.
You meant Amy Mann.
Yeah.
So I wrote this in my notes because I didn't really know who she was.
Okay. I only know who she is through this movie. Yeah.
Same.
I had heard of her, and so it was Charlie that told me that he was with Fiona Apple at this time.
Yeah, I always thought of her as like shit Fiona Apple.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. Like, But like, yeah, I guess I knew they were in the kind of a similar realm.
Yeah.
That I think, yeah, I guess I don't know how far, if we want to just like talk about it as it happens, but the that was one of my least favorite bits, was that use of her music, that overuse maybe.
What, like throughout the whole thing, or do you mean just like specifically the sequence where they all sing along and stuff?
Well, no, I thought that that's the bit I meant. Yeah, I did like that.
So were you trying not to say that?
No, yeah, the bit where they all sing along, that was that was weird. I was like, this would maybe work with a more well-known song.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I think it hasn't aged well. Like, I don't know if he was like banking on Amy Mann being like a really
That's
like
funny.
Well, he wrote a lot of the movie
20 years.
around her music, so I
Yeah.
feel like he
Yeah.
probably was. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think overall the film maybe makes a lot of decisions that he wouldn't make anymore.
That's the thing. It feels like a very like he isn't really fit. He knows what he's good at, but hasn't really figured out how to like rein it in. Where this one was the opposite of reining it in, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then he at the time said it's the best movie he will ever make, for better or worse.
Well, that's what a coked up, egotistical late 20-something-year-old who has like the world at his fucking fingertips is going to say, you know? I think I've heard him talk since then, and interviews with him 20 years ago compared to now. Like, he seemed like a cunt back then, as much as Fiona Apple has sort of stated as well, just like that he was an asshole. He was not a good partner, and he was abusive in many ways,
out.
and
just
coked out of his mind. I remember her making some sort of funny comments about like being in a room with him and Quentin Tarantino or whatever, like all coked up, and it being like the worst experience any human could do. Like,
totally
nightmare blood rotation.
For sure.
But yeah, it's a little bit insufferable. But anyway, so yeah, I want to start with this opening and talk about that, because I was reading the script, right? Because it came up on some sort of fucking article I was reading, and it just happened to have the whole script there. So I was like, okay, I'll start reading it. And I'm reading it through, and I'm like, why does this all feel so familiar to me? But then I think, oh, this is a man who is in his mid-20s or late 20s, and clearly has a very specific taste in like literature and stuff that he's trying to emulate here. And I read that he also, like, David Foster Wallace was one of his tutors at whatever fucking college he went to. And it does feel like, the filmic equivalent of someone who loves David Foster Wallace and Thomas Pynchon, obviously later going on making Inherent Vice. It's like, it feels like someone trying to like do this sort of like postmodern writing style bit in movies, and this whole intro has this sort of novelistic like grand sense of coincidence and all this kind of stuff, which I think is obviously you can get really swept up in that. And I think when I was 15, 16 watching this movie, that opening sequence like blew my fucking mind. I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. But now it sort of rings a little hollow. I feel it's like,
I think it feels
all
very
a bit of a trick, you know? Yeah, it does feel kind of dated in a way.
It's in the same family as like Fight Club and Old Boy and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, it does have a very 1999 feel, I guess.
Yeah.
A lot of these movies
for sure
don't really stand the test of time.
So many ensemble movies at that time too.
They love, and obviously, like, as a visual storyteller, he's pulling a lot from Altman. He's pulling a lot from Scorsese. And obviously, naturally, as I think we've already sort of touched upon in the podcast, like, over the years of film developing, you know, and people being influenced by other people, it creates this ongoing wave of like people just sort of imitating each other and then layering on top of that, on top of that, on top of that, until like no one has any sense of like individual style anymore. But again, I think Paul Thomas Anderson, sorry, I've been waffling for ages, but Paul Thomas Anderson for me is just someone who is like, I think this was like almost a mistake for me that he had to make in order to make the rest of his movies, which I think from then on were really, really good, you know? I think this is to me. I think this is the only like misstep in his movies.
But you just said you hate Hard Eight.
Except the first one. That doesn't count. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, where do you guys stand on this and the opening and all that kind of stuff that I've just been chatting shit about?
I did like the film overall.
I actually think I liked it more than when I originally watched it. Like the first time I watched it, I was like, this is so corny, da da da. And this time I was like, this is kind of enjoyable, you know, like, yeah, I don't know. But it definitely still corny. Sorry, Mike, you were talking.
Yeah, I think, it's still, I think all of it still works in like his kind of cinematic universe, you know, it all kind of fits in with a lot of his other films. And I think really a lot of the things that I like about PTA are like the kind of the vibes.
The vibes are there, yeah.
The vibes are there. I really like his like camera shots and stuff. That like I never like studied film or anything, so I don't know anything about them. But like
me neither.
Like
all the tracking and stuff
and all that stuff. So I had fun when all that stuff was happening. But then I don't know, because it's 3 hours. It's impossible to say I enjoyed the whole thing because there's so much of it is a bit kind of long.
I do feel like I've laid into it a bit more than like I don't actually dislike it as much as I think I've sort of implied by what I'm saying. Like there are lots of elements of the film that I do really, really like and really, really appreciate. And I do still like that opening, even though I think it's like corny and silly. Like it's fun and it's the kind of thing that if it was a book, I would be like lapping it up. But there's just certain, it's going to happen when you're making a film with so many a web of just like our fucking show. It's like a linking thing, you know.
We love webs.
Like a link.
When you're doing that, there's going to be certain parts of the story that are more interesting than the others, but I think the stuff that is handled well for me, the best stuff in the movie is the little kid is amazing. He's so good. I love his part of the story as well. Like it's the one that I feel like closest to emotionally. The same with John C. Reilly's one as well. I feel like those two are the standout parts of the movie for me. To be honest, everything else doesn't really work for me. And there's one specific character and one specific actor that I have a large issue with that I want to get into.
All right.
Well, I'm excited.
But I want you first to tell me which strands you liked and which you didn't.
I wonder if you didn't mention the Tom Cruise character.
I wonder that too.
Yeah, I mean,
it's okay. I think it's a bit half baked for me. It's like kind of obvious what it's doing. It's the most like on the nose of all of them, I feel.
What I want to say about that one is I feel like his like fall from whatever he is like isn't dramatic enough. I feel like I wish that he was like, and like he is like crying at the end, but I wanted him to be like so stripped of his ego and like destroyed. But then on the other hand, like I guess he was wronged too. I don't know. I just find this like the way that arc happens like not entirely satisfying.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the dialogue as well in the interview stuff is just like so self-satisfied in its construction.
I feel like the interview could have like gone harder, but
yeah.
I don't know.
So yeah, but yeah, please. What else what other strands do you like and not like?
I don't know if I could rank them. I mean, I like I love William H. Macy's bit.
Me too.
That's all quite cool. I like the scene in the bar.
Yeah, there's something missing there for me. I love William H. Macy. I think he's like such an exciting performer to watch, and he's so unique. But this, I don't know. I hate
don't
all
like.
of the little speeches about love and stuff. I think they're really corny.
Oh yeah.
What were you gonna say, Shay?
I was gonna say I don't love the little kid. I don't.
Really?
He kind of annoys me. I'm like, shut up. I don't know. He just kind of annoys me. But I don't really like kids in general. So I'm kind of like, oh,
I
like.
really like
I
his
thought
dad.
I really like his dad.
I really
That guy's
relate to the
awesome.
dad character.
I liked
He's chill.
the whole game show thing, having like the other two kids were like really like confident
funny.
and dicks and funny,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
the adults, then like the adults versus kids thing.
Luis
Yeah.
Guzman was funny.
Luis
Yeah,
Guzman's
he was
super
brilliant.
funny.
And it was, yeah, I don't know, it was kind of, do you know, I thought I had was you know how all the characters link up, and it was a lot like Love Actually.
Yeah, it's a lot like that. Love Actually did it better.
Yeah. But yeah, obviously, this is the kind of stuff where he is like pulling from the Altman stuff, like Shortcuts is obviously like a massive thing for him. And Nashville, he even has that guy who, from Nashville is in it as well. The guy in the bar who William H. Macy talks to.
And Julianne Moore is in Shortcuts.
Julianne Moore is in Shortcuts. Okay, maybe this is where I say it. I think Julianne Moore's segment of the movie, her performance are atrocious. And I actually think this might be like Razzie worthy performance of hers. I think it's so bad and embarrassing, and it's made me sort of go back in my mind and go, huh, is she actually good in anything? I don't think I like her.
I said she was,
I don't think I like her either. Her acting always annoys me. Like, she's so over the top in everything.
And not even like a fun way. Like, ugh, I find it like, her every time she came on screen, I was like, shut the fuck up. Mike, your 2 cents?
Said she was amazing, please. Out loud.
You said she was amazing out loud?
She's amazing. Oh
no. Yeah.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah, like, but you know, I don't really have.
You know what I will say? You know what I will say? You know how she like freaks out at the pharmacy? Before was always like, oh, she's so crazy. But watching it back now, like, that dude was so fucked up and unprofessional to be like, oh, what's going on with you and all the drugs, you know?
Oh, absolutely. I've had experiences in pharmacies that are like not too dissimilar to this. I mean, obviously not quite to this extent, but like I've seen it happen to Issa, where I'm like, what the fuck's that guy asking you those questions for? He has no right. Yeah, like I think that scene is set up well and everything, but yeah, just she ruins it. She ruins every scene she's in.
Wow, big cool.
Big fucking cool. Yeah, cartoonish is the word. You ever see her in 30 Rock when she's doing her Boston accent?
I literally think about that every time I see her because of that was just so burned in my memory because she does a terrible accent.
Terrible fucking accent. So yeah, that was sort of like my main sort of hot take on the movie, I think.
But don't people say she's bad in it? I thought that was the thing that people say. Oh, okay.
I thought people fucking like, she just seems like one of these untouchable people, like who's just, everyone thinks she's the dog's bollocks. And I just, this is the first time I've sort of taken a step back and been like, why is she acclaimed as like one of the best American actors? Like, she's no good.
I don't think I have any opinions on acting at all, really.
Yeah, well, the thing is, PTA has successfully made a movie that is both a director's movie and an actor's movie, you know? Did you know Network? You ever see Network, Mikey?
Yeah.
Like, it just all feels very like, I love Network, the movie.
Yeah.
I saw that he
Network,
screened it. Man. I haven't seen Network.
You never seen Network, Shay?
Yeah.
Because people fucking love that movie. It. And well, I don't hate it. It's just so acty that it kind of pisses me off. Like, it's not a directed movie. And what PTA has done here is like directed Network, you know, for me. It feels like that's what he's doing. And I just don't, I can dig actors chewing the scenery, but when it's a movie that's like thinks it's saying something profound and is 3 hours long. It just kind of gets on my nerves when these actors are just sort of like doing like masturbatory performances for
I
so
did
long.
say when it was in Tom Cruise's like breakdown cryy moment, I referenced to Charlie something from another podcast that we both listen to, that mentions that like whenever actors it's their time to do a biopic, they always like rub their hands together and be like, all right, I'm gonna get me an Oscar. And then they start doing like this crazy like crying where, you know, crying like you've never seen before, where they're like they've got snot bubbles and like moisture.
Yeah. And everyone in this movie,
everyone in this movie is trying to go for that.
Is doing
and
that.
Jason Robards is doing the reverse version of that, where he's like, I'm the dying guy, give me an Oscar.
I thought his dialogue was really funny because none of it really makes sense, you know.
The old man in the bed.
The old man in the bed. He
I couldn't understand him, to be honest.
I found it really funny how he kept saying like sentences that didn't make sense, that were really like, I didn't make notes of any, but like kind of saying very simplistic things over and over again. Like the thing about life is you're dying and you have these regrets, and regrets, you have them. It was kind of like Joe Biden.
yeah, totally.
It was like nothing that he was saying was like deep or anything. It's the opposite of like the people in the bar being like saying like all these like poetic lines and stuff like
profound
that.
things about love.
Yeah. And then he's the complete opposite, like, I had a wife, she was great, and I'm dying now. Like that.
Well, all that like lovey-dovey nonsense, it's like, it does feel like Punch Drunk Love is like him realizing like those things, even though it's only a couple years later or whatever.
I thought that
like
too.
He's like intelligently sort of like expressing those things. But obviously, he's just trying to jam pack so much into this movie, and I feel like he must be fucking coked out of his head when he's like writing this stuff, because like it doesn't feel grounded in any sense. And
I think that's because it's got so many characters. Like there's no lead. There's no lead. There's like all these people going for Oscars, you know, they'd only get supporting.
Exactly. But yeah,
other than John C. Reilly, apparently they rallied for him as lead actor in the Oscar campaign. That was an IMDb fact I read.
That's weird.
Wow.
He's no more lead than you know, the Coke woman.
Yeah, well, that was the first character he wrote. So
the Coke
who's
woman.
to say? Yeah.
What's the actor called again? I feel bad for not remembering her name, so I do think she's really good.
Melora Walters.
Yeah. I think she's really fantastic.
She's good. Is that how Paul sees himself as that character? Like, you know?
She does an obscene amount of coke.
I think he sees himself as all of them, you know? He's got a little bit of Tom Cruise in him.
Well, he's he's got the dad in television. So
yeah, he's got the dad in TV.
So he's both of the sons. Oh wait, he's both the son and the daughter, I suppose.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah, there's. I suppose because it's a bit confusing how it's like two kind of separate, because there's a child smart kid and there's a grown up version of a child smart kid. But they don't really interact.
No. So
I halfway through I was like, hang on, is he him now? No, they have different names. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I was like, hang on, is this two different time?
Totally. I had the same thing where when I first started watching it, I saw the kid and I was like, oh, that's William H. Macy as a kid. Like I thought I was remembering that, but that's not what it was.
Yeah, it's only because I rewatched the intro thing today. It all made a lot more sense, but it also definitely feels like it could have been half the amount of characters, and it probably
half the amount of time. Yeah,
absolutely,
because the storylines aren't that different.
Cut it down, buddy. I know you had a lot of cocaine and like full free reign, but cut it down.
That's why I was gonna say that's why you shouldn't give people free reign, but you should. That is the best way to like have an artist like make her movies.
Yeah, I mean, I think he learned, like you said, I do think he learned a lot, obviously, from making this.
Honestly,
I
like
still really like the film.
The step up from this to Punch Drunk
Yeah.
Love to me is just like insane.
It feels
so
like
much more contained and
so much more
controlled.
contained.
For me, it feels like a bit of like an artist that you really like making an album that is obviously obviously too much, and maybe doesn't have a lot of songs that you really like, but you still
it's
like
40
listening
songs
to it.
40 songs long.
Yeah, it's kind of like his like I don't want to say White Album, because the White Album's really good. It's more like his Tusk.
Who's that?
Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
I'm not a Mac head.
It's also very cokey.
There you go. I love that.
Maybe
there's the musical point of reference. Yeah, probably.
Maybe we should ban cocaine from filmmaking and music.
Is there something that really good cocaine based that came, like, is there any good cocaine based art? Rumors.
See, I'm not really a Mac head.
Yeah.
Someone Google it. Most movies made all coked up.
Is that okay to Google? Best cocaine fueled movies.
Movies made by coked out directors. Did you ever see the trailer for Maximum Overdrive, the Stephen King movie that he directed?
No.
Oh my god, it's so funny. He's like at the height of this coke like nonsense, and this trailer is him just like staring straight to camera, like bug-eyed, being like, "This is my movie. I directed my movie. This movie has directed it." It's so funny. You gotta watch it. Oh, it's mature content. This Reddit thread that I'm trying to go on.
Oh wow, I'm on the Reddit Reddit thread, and it says the first thing is Blues Brothers. I've never seen.
You've never seen Blues Brothers?
I've never seen it.
I'm just getting a lot of Cocaine Bear stuff coming up.
Oh boy. Someone said Maximum Overdrive.
Oh, okay, yeah. That film's better. It's unwatchable.
All right.
I've tried. I've really tried.
I'm on ultimateclassicrock.com.
That's a good website.
Yeah,
I love that.
I've got
site.
it bookmarked. This is top 20 cocaine songs.
Oh, okay. Michael's doing his music section.
The Clash.
Those aren't songs. Those are bands, Michael.
Yeah. Well, there's yeah. Ringo Starr.
Yeah, he's always coked out of his head, isn't he?
Oasis.
Fiend. It sounds like they were all on cocaine. Those are like all of like the major music people.
Yeah, I think if you're doing cocaine, you should stick to music. That's maybe what we've learned.
Yeah, it doesn't show as much.
Should have released an album.
Yeah.
To be honest, I know you were kind of ragging on it earlier. I do actually really like the Amy Mann songs in this movie. I think she's good. I think, actually, to be fair, her albums that I've listened to outside of the Magnolia album, I'm not really a fan of, but I really like some of the tracks on this album.
Yeah, it's not like it's bad. It just doesn't feel, I don't know.
And weirdly, I know, again, like it should probably be the scene that I dislike the most. And you also mentioned it earlier, Mike. I do actually kind of like the scene where they all sing along to the song. I don't know why it works for me. I don't know why it works for me. I can't explain it. And I like totally respect anyone being like, this is such dog shit. But like, for some reason, it moves me. And I think it's just because I love the song so much.
I don't know. I just didn't like seeing like, like the kind of the old man character, like facing, like I don't know, it didn't feel real. It's the same with the frog scene as well. Actually, I didn't really like that either.
Okay, this is what I wanted to get to, because Michael, as well as being a music expert, is a frog expert. So
I have noticed that you post frogs on Instagram a lot.
Michael, show her your tattoo.
Just the tip of the iceberg. I'm wearing a big fleece, but there's one.
There it is.
Okay, it just looks like a tattoo, but that's great.
Oh, right, yeah, because you want me to get closer or something?
Yeah.
It's a frog. It's kind of upside down.
Oh, that's awesome. That's cool.
Who
I
did
like that.
Issa did that.
Oh, wow. Shout out to Issa.
Got a
Shout out
frog
to
here.
Issa. Yeah.
I'm kind of dressed like a frog as well.
Totally. Totally.
So, Mike, what did you think of the whole frog thing? Oh, actually, I also want to know what you think about the little rapping kid.
Oh, wow. That's a good question.
Yeah, maybe that was another one of the rapping kid was maybe one of the cringy moments as well. But I liked him. I liked the kid.
Yeah.
Sure.
But, I didn't understand what he was talking about with he was telling the worm or something like that. He was telling him who did the murder.
Yeah, he was telling him who did the murder through
What was that
rap.
about? But
Michael,
did
you're
that ever
so
get
square.
resolved? I thought that would be a bigger plot point.
I thought so too. They didn't really follow up on that much.
They had the time to get around.
Yeah, seriously.
Apparently, there was stuff with the worm that they cut out,
Oh, okay.
A 4-hour film.
and it shows. So yeah, Mike, please. Frog me.
Froggy. Well, I don't know. It's not. I thought that having all that CGI wasn't very.
Yeah.
That's another
Totally.
example of things that he would never do now. I think.
Yeah.
Really ages the film.
Hate CGI. Yeah.
And then when it was like the next day, and you know the kind of finale scene, and everyone's kind of sorting themselves out. It was no one mentioned the frogs at all, but then and it doesn't come up in any of the other scenes, apart from when it's you know the cop and John C. Reilly and William H. Macy's characters, like they were like scooping up frogs and driving over frogs.
Oh yeah.
I was like, so did this happen or what, or is this, you know?
Well, it did happen because it also I like the bit where it hits the gun out of his hand.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah,
That's
it's
funny.
quite funny, but I still didn't really like it.
This is the fake profound shit I'm talking about, you know.
Yeah,
Exactly.
totally.
It was all him kind of having too many ideas, I would say.
We
But,
should all stick to having 3 to 4 ideas per thing.
Yeah, there should be a cap on ideas for sure. And also, why didn't the dad of the quiz kid, why didn't a frog knock some sense into him? Like he was just
a frog should have hit him on the head. Yeah,
hello. Be nicer to your son.
That's funny when he says that at the end. You have to be nicer to me.
He's like,
cute. Yeah. So, Mike, I mean, what did you read that no frogs were harmed in the production of the movie? Did that make you happy?
Well, it was quite obvious because they weren't real frogs.
Well, some of them were rubber frogs, Michael.
Yeah.
They weren't all CGI. Some of them were rubber frogs.
Oh, right.
I'm
Maybe
comforted to hear that.
Frogs. I didn't like seeing them
should've.
all dying and bleeding, and
I thought.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I did tell you. Did you remember that I told you there was frogs in this movie?
I did remember, and you know what? As long as the film kept going on, I kept thinking, like, was he lying to make me watch it? Like, I already wanted to watch it. Why would he do that? And I also.
So I tricked Michael into doing lots of stuff by saying frogs are going to be there.
That's easy.
Come to this party. There's going to be so many frogs. And also, I kept getting worried that I'd got the film wrong because, you know, there's the film that you've mentioned in a previous episode, and I was going to do as a bit actually today that I forgot that I watched the wrong film. But Melancholia, the Lars von Trier film, has a very similar title.
Totally.
That's
I've
funny.
never seen it, but the only I've seen the image of her like lying down in like grass or something, or like lily pads or like and I was like, was I supposed to watch that film?
I'm supposed to watch that film.
Maybe there's frogs there. And also, I didn't really know the difference between the two films. I kind of half expected Kirsten Dunst to be in this film until she wasn't.
That maybe would have been better. She's a great actress.
Would have been.
Yeah. She is.
Put Julianne Moore in the bin.
Yeah, man.
That's my 2 cents. So
she's also so annoying in Shortcuts.
You see her bush in that though.
That's true. Is that why you love it so much?
Love what?
That movie.
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't say anything.
Can we talk
okay,
about Tom
okay.
Cruise's language in this film?
Yeah, please.
I thought it was very funny.
Respect the cock.
Respect the cock.
Pound the pussy. I can't remember what he says. Some silly stuff.
It made me so
yeah.
uncomfortable to see Tom Cruise speak like that because I feel like he's so PC
He's usually,
nowadays.
like, yeah, he wouldn't do something like that anymore.
Yeah, PC police would come for him.
Doesn't really try very hard anymore.
Yeah, he hasn't been in an arty movie in quite some time.
He just wants to jump off shit now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what he likes.
He got addicted
What he's
to it.
into.
Maybe they should make an art movie where he has to, like, I don't know, jump off a building.
What did you think of his leather watch?
Leather watch?
Yeah, his cool leather watch.
Big brown.
Oh,
leather
yeah,
bracelet.
I want one.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
I thought it was cool.
I also want to, like, I want his, like, teaching. I want his book.
I nearly had his look.
Yeah, absolutely.
With my hair being all long.
I actually liked all of his looks. He kind of had an iconic aesthetic.
It is kind of funny when he's like panting and stuff with his tongue out just before she's going to interview him.
Like when he's all hyped up. Yeah.
Yeah.
It seemed like he probably had a lot of fun acting in it. And that can be fun to watch sometimes.
Definitely.
Knowing that an actor is having fun, where it doesn't really look like Jason Robards is having fun, you know?
No.
It looks like he's actually dying.
And then he did a year later.
And he did pretty soon after.
It's not super
In
fun.
real life.
Yeah.
What notes did I make?
Yeah, hit up some more notes and then we can start to wrap things up maybe.
Do you find it funny how he kind of revisited the kind of minor celebrity children thing in Licorice Pizza? You know?
That is interesting. I think that's one of my favorite parts of Licorice Pizza as well, that whole thing. That whole plot point.
Yeah, the whole like kind of 60s TV show thing.
Where do you stand on Licorice Pizza, Shay?
I really like Licorice Pizza.
Oh, okay, cool.
So we're all on the same page with that.
No, because I know a lot of people weren't really that big a fan of it, especially even people who were like PTA fans in the past. But like, I think it's his best movie since Punch Drunk Love, maybe.
I don't agree with that.
What are you eating?
I'm eating my noodles.
Oh.
You could get a utensil if you want.
No, I'm in the middle of a podcast, Shay.
Okay, cool.
Guy. Yeah, Mike. Any more points you want to make?
Yeah, I don't know. I quite liked all the TV connecting. You know how it was like. I just liked how everything kind of stuck together. I think even though we're kind of shitting on a lot of it, I still really liked the kind of the vibe of it. I still feel like it had the vibe that I like. You know,
like I enjoyed watching it, and like I still think mostly like his dialogue is fun to watch and the characters are interesting, but yeah, there are just some very corny. It's just very corny. It's just very sincere in a weird way that I'm glad he doesn't do anymore. You like Inherent Vice?
I love Inherent Vice. I think it's fucking fantastic. I think he got to a point where he could actually control and do a pinch on thing, and it worked. And the first time I watched Inherent Vice, I didn't really care for it. I didn't really understand what I was like watching. And then afterwards, I kind of like, what the fuck was the point in that? It was stupid. And then I watched it again, and I've watched it many times since, and just been like, wow, actually, this is just such like a perfectly crafted movie. And it's like also just a good hangout movie, just like Licorice Pizza is, you know?
For sure. Okay, well, I guess I need to rewatch it because I did not.
Did you only see it once?
I only saw it once. So
yeah, I'd say give it another whirl, because when you go into it knowing you're not gonna, I think, you know, as basic minded as of me as it is, I think I went into that movie, it being a mystery movie, wanting some sort of like something to like eat up at the end, or some sort of like resolution or whatever. But if you just take it for what it is, which is like this ridiculous dazed movie, and just go along for the ride, I think it's
100%.
fantastic.
Yeah, I enjoyed it more the second time, because I knew that I wasn't, you're not really supposed to follow the plot. It's more just experiencing it. And I think that's what I was trying to get from this film as well. I was like, I don't, I'm not watching it to see what happens to these characters and how they link up. I'm just like, I'm just kind of enjoying what's happening.
It would have been better if it didn't link up so nicely,
Yeah, maybe it does feel a bit like that's part of what makes
like
it
Christopher
kind of
Nolan-y or something,
That's why I think
add up.
the first the opening sequence is my favorite, because it's just like stuff, and then when it cools down and everyone kind of does their performances, then it's a bit like,
I feel like that's more like what Robert Altman movies are like, where it's just like stuff the whole time, and it doesn't need
that's
to
why Robert Altman
conclude.
is amazing, and he did this movie so much better a fair few times. He did a few movies like that. Nashville, Shortcuts. I think there's another one I'm trying to think of that's kind of like that.
I feel like
anyway.
The Player.
The Player, yeah. So just go watch some Robert Altman movies.
True. Honestly,
Nashville maybe has the problem of being like overlong, and maybe same as Shortcuts. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if I think so.
Altman's fucking great. I love the guy.
So good.
California Split. That's my favorite Altman movie. You seen that one?
No, I was actually starting to watch it the other day.
It's so good.
Okay.
He's one of my number one hunks, Elliot Gould. One of the sexiest Jewish men of all time.
Men find him so attractive. I swear to God, like so many men will say to me, "Damn, that's a hottie."
Wow, he's just everything you'd want to be. He is just like the ideal Jewish man. That's what
he's
I think
very
it is.
charismatic.
He's charismatic and handsome, but he's also very Semitic. It's like, I wish I could. I want to be you. Do I want to be in you? Do I want to be you?
Oh, what a lovely question. What else?
I don't really have anything else to say about Magnolia before we wrap up. Do you guys have any final thoughts? 5 out of 10.
5.
Wow. I don't know how I would rate it. I just gave it a like on Letterboxd. I didn't know what star rating to give it.
Have you been holding off on rating these things on Letterboxd, Mikey? Just so it's a surprise.
Well, I watched a film on Thursday called Frogs from 1972. And I haven't got around to logging that yet because I wanted to do a few lines on it,
I'm sure you do because of how much you love frogs.
Yeah. And actually, that was something that I wish I'd seen before I was doing my master's degree.
Oh, damn.
But, gonna save it for the PhD.
Michael did a master's on frogs. Pretty much.
So I'm like 3 films behind in my Letterboxd.
Oh, fair enough.
My point.
Michael, do you want to tell Shay what your other choice was when I said no to?
Stop making sense.
Oh, why did you say no?
Jordan hates it.
I hate concert movies. Okay.
Oh wow.
I think they're
stupid. I'd really like to hear your thoughts on it, Michael, because I know that you love it, but I'd also like to know what about it you think is cringe or doesn't work or whatever. And also, Shay, where do you stand on Stop Making Sense?
Let me go first. I've never seen it, so
okay. Great.
I'm dying to. I know it will be a joyful experience.
It is that.
Go ahead.
I suppose still. Well, I loved it when I first saw it. I can't remember if I watched it before or after the new David Byrne one.
Yeah.
American Utopia. But I found that one a bit cringe.
Yeah, I remember you saying.
Because he's got all these crappy new songs. And he really makes a deal of what is happening. Keeps kind of saying, I think, if I remember correctly, keeps being like, all of the music that you're seeing is being it's happening live on stage.
Wow.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, bro. I bought a
Maybe because
ticket,
it's
dude.
like a
bit of
minimal
a
set or
turn-off.
something. It kind of looks like I don't know, it's very like choreographed and stuff, but it's fine. But it's not making sense. Yeah, it's the music is amazing. The way that the set builds is really good and everything. And I still really love it. But then I did have these thoughts this time around watching it about like the yeah, something I touched on before about I think I talked about it when we did a film on our podcast before it became about Animal Collective.
Oh, when we talked
about
about David Byrne and sampling and African
like,
culture and all
yeah,
that kind
like
of stuff.
Yeah, basically that, and how he doesn't really get criticized for it at all.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
interesting.
he's very much one of these people who has lifted so much from African culture musically and stuff, and you know, yeah, the credit isn't really there enough probably. And
yeah, and it's like whereas like Paul Simon is kind of, that's like an asterisk on his whole vibe, you know.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
And like yeah, I kind of had these thoughts, but like I don't know, I think if you look on the positive side, it's very like you know, at the time this was like the big like liberal thing, and it's very much like everyone's coming together to have a good time and it's very happy about it.
Yeah.
But the thing that tipped over the edge for me was the Tom Tom Club bit. You know, when they do that song towards the end.
Yeah.
So that's the side project that David Byrne wasn't involved with. And then like the drummer takes over and he's like, yeah, now we're gonna do this song. It's the Tom Tom Club. And the stuff that he says throughout the song is like so cringe.
What kind of
stuff? At one point he goes like, because it's like the bassist Tina is like the singer, so he goes like, the girls can do it too, you know. And he goes like and this is in the song as well, he goes like it's like a whole like, if the hip and the hop and you don't ever stop, and he does like that kind of thing. And the song itself is like, it's obviously a great tune, but it's also like a Grandmaster Flash kind of ripoff.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And like there's a bit where he goes like, James Brown. It's just yeah.
James Brown. Yeah, that is really funny.
That really cringed me out.
Yeah, I love that. I'm glad we're getting a musical hot take, you know, within this app.
Absolutely. It's what Michael's best known for, his musical hot
takes. He's one of those people like Nick Cave that's just kind of over iconized.
Go off.
Yeah, absolutely.
As much as I love Talking Heads, you know, and he hasn't actually, David Byrne hasn't made any good music for like 4 years now. I don't know, maybe some of the stuff is okay, but
it's also funny that immediately after Stop Making Sense, Talking Heads become absolute dog shit for the last 2 albums.
Yeah, literally. And actually that
like actually actively bad.
Yeah, and that's not even that good, I don't think. The Yellow Speaking in Tongues album.
Yeah,
that's got like 4
a bit of a mixed bag. Yeah, absolutely.
But I think that the film makes it look really, like, makes it feel like it's really good. Which,
so we got to do a little Stop Making Sense episode at the end here, so we all got what we wanted.
There's our new release for you.
That's our new release,
but yeah,
that's so true. No, but I mean, it's been re-released.
Yeah,
so it's fine. It's perfect.
Are we gonna do our like recommendations of the week?
Of course we fucking are.
Mike could do one too.
Mike's gonna do a music one.
Yeah.
Oh, am I?
If you want, you can do what you want. Shay, you'll go first. I'll go second.
Okay.
And you go third, Michael. So keep your fucking mouth shut.
Wait, does it have to be new or what?
No,
just whatever you feel.
Right.
So Shay,
I've made my rule for myself that it has to be a movie I watch in this week.
Yeah.
And I've mostly just been watching like weird horror movies. But I guess I'll do Possibly in Michigan. That was really, really good. Yeah.
Have you seen that, Mikey?
No. What is it?
possibly in Michigan. It's a
like a
you go,
short
Shay,
horror film from 1983, directed by a woman. I don't really know a lot about it.
Cecilia Condit. Oh my god, do you not know the mad history
You
behind
mean
this
that
movie?
it's real? I read that, or like that it's based
Okay.
on her life. Yeah, I did read that.
So Mike,
Yeah.
this woman made this a horror movie, like it's this sort of like musical. I guess it's kind of like comedic in a way, comedy horror movie thing.
Yeah.
And it's inspired by the fact that she used to go out with this guy who turned out to be like it was like a cannibalistic serial killer.
She and her friend both went out with the same guy. And then it turned out, yeah, he was a cannibalistic murderer.
Christ.
And this movie is like the most unsettling thing. It's so incredibly
so
well done.
cool.
You got to watch
it.
it.
Like
It's
flows
like 15 minutes
together in this amazing
Right.
way. It's so cool, and it's musical, so you'll enjoy
and it's
it.
musical. Yeah, you'll love it. And it's got
That's my rec.
masks, so maybe show Charlie.
Sure.
Cool
He
mask.
should be listening. I've mentioned him enough.
Oh yeah, he should.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's got to listen.
Totally,
to
he should. I have found if you tell people you shout them out, they will listen. They love that.
Yeah,
It's also good to
so-
bury it deep in the end of the episode.
Totally.
I've
So
got
just
loads
say a
of
list of
shout-outs
your
so
friends'
far.
names. Jimmy Aki. Those are my two friends.
Right.
I just want to give a shout out to our good friend Cindy as well.
Yes, we have
Hey,
to have her
Cindy.
on. Hey, Cindy.
Oh, yeah.
We have to have
Can
Brandon
we-
Braun on too.
Yeah, fuck Brandon Braun. Can we
No!
have? I'm kidding. Love you,
I
Brandon.
know.
Can we have Cindy on for a special scary movie episode?
Yeah, maybe. I'll ask
Okay,
her.
cool.
Dude,
Ask her if she wants to go, as in the movie scary movie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like for our next week episode.
Well,
Are you going to do a Halloween special?
We're going to do a Halloween
Yes.
special next week, so that's a little treat for everyone. We're going to do a Halloween
That's
special before
great.
we get back into the movie linking chain.
Spooky.
We still need to decide what to watch, Shay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you
I
not
have some
decide on the
thoughts.
last episode?
No.
No,
for
because
horror
this
your
is
Halloween one.
yeah.
Is it not going to be
Um,
part of the chain?
No.
No, it's not. It's its own separate thing. Just
Have
like
you got
this
a spreadsheet
Magnolia
going,
episode.
by the way? For all this
We
stuff?
should probably
Yeah,
get
we
a
do.
spreadsheet going.
And we're gonna do our Proust episodes too. So there are a few
Yeah.
tangent that are not connecting to our chain.
So my movie recommendation, no, my book recommendation of the week. That's what I do, right?
Yep.
I did finally finish reading Berlin Alexander Platz, which I didn't mention on the previous episode, but I want to wholeheartedly recommend it now that I finished it.
Now you really can. Nothing horrible happened at the end where you're like, fuck this book.
Yeah. It's probably I obviously there's like a recency bias here, but like it's probably the best book I've ever read. I fucking love it so much.
Oh wow. Shit.
I've never connected with like prose more. Like it's just incredible. And Franz Biberkopf as a character is one of just like the best characters of like 20th century literature, you know. Think it's incredible. Think it's unmatched. And I'm 2 episodes through Fassbinder's version. And it's you read the book and you go, Fassbinder was kind of made like he was born to make this into something, you know. But 2 episodes through, I'm kind of a bit confused as to what he's doing. He's like kind of taking it in a slightly different direction. And like the first episode was great, but the second episode I was kind of like, oh, what is this becoming like Cabaret or something?
Interesting.
As in the movie Cabaret. But
What
we'll
else
see how
would-
it goes. I could have meant like Cabaret in general.
Oh, sure. I forgot that that was a thing separate of the movie / musical. Okay. That was very interesting.
Yeah.
I appreciate that there are people out there reading that book and then watching that show.
Yeah. It's a hard job, but someone's got to do it.
Someone's got to do it. It's a good, honest work.
Well, I mean, me and you are about to delve into fucking like 7,000-8,000 pages of Proust or whatever. So,
Yes, sir.
and I'm only like 80 pages through now.
Oh, I could catch up to you.
Oh, you can catch up easy. So, Mikey, what's your whatever recommendation of the week you want to give?
I'm going to do what was my album of the year so far.
Oh,
It's called Sun Arcs by Blue Lake.
Sun Arcs by Blue Lake. Sounds like you just
Arcs?
made that up.
No, it is one of those ones where it takes you a minute to, or like it's one of those ones where both the names could be the album and one of the artists.
Yeah, it's like when people have like a last name for their first name kind
it's
of
exactly
thing.
the same
Yeah.
like that.
That kind of vibe. Oh yeah, you already told me about this personally because I have it saved.
Yeah.
All right, I'm excited. I'm saving it right now.
It's like all instrumental. It's like a mix between like acoustic guitar and this guy's built this really big zither.
Oh, cool.
A stringed instrument that you plug. And I saw him live at Cafe Otte the other week.
Oh, did you?
A little
Thanks for the invite,
band.
man.
Yeah, you were busy.
Does he have to invite you to everything he does?
Busy, yeah.
Well, that's the kind of thing
good
I would
point,
actually go. Fuck you, Shay.
Let me know if you do want to go to something at Cafe Otte.
I do. I bet you went with Charlie, didn't you? I bet you went with Charlie, didn't you?
Yeah.
Is that your other best friend?
Our friend
yeah,
Jamal
it is.
That got us involved with it.
Me and Charlie beefed to be Michael's best friend.
Yeah, it's quite embarrassing.
I actually bumped into Charlie at Cafe Otto not too long ago.
Oh shit. Did you guys fight?
Almost. No, we're actually very pleasant to each other.
Okay.
We talk about Michael like he's our kid, you know?
How's he doing?
How's he doing down there? It's
How's
all right.
he doing?
You kind of are like my divorced parents in a way.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't have sex
custody.
anymore.
Oh,
no.
That's so sad.
Eyes are bone.
Do you want to shout out anything? Like
I just want to. Yeah, I was gonna say, Mike, how do you want to promote your music here? I think people should go and listen to your music. I know you're kind of in a transitional phase at the moment, so I don't want to misname you.
Yeah,
I know. I have to say, I'm sad you're not gonna be called Seafood Diet anymore. I love that name.
I know. I was so tempted to keep it for a while because of that, but
because Shay loves it.
Because I specifically love it.
I did listen to the podcast where you said that, and I was like,
oh, I did.
Wow.
But I am going through a transitional period. But I'll shout out my latest. It was I haven't officially announced anything, but it's probably be the last Seafood Diet song. But I might keep the name. We never know. But
but for now, people can find Seafood Diet as your
it's on all the things.
Your latest release was Fantasy, which was also used in my film, Easter and Anna.
But if you watch Easter and Anna, all of the other music in that is what I'm going to be doing more of going forward.
Yeah,
so
beautiful music.
Basically, watch Easter and Anna.
That's
it.
So Jordan managed to take a promotion from my promotion.
Yeah, I was a bit greedy of you, Jordan.
You're the one who fucking said it, man.
Still.
Great. Any final points?
Well, I really liked Vox Lux.
Oh,
great.
Let's talk about that. Vox Lux Corner.
Wow. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that, Mikey. Have you listened to our episode now as well?
Yeah, I listened to straight after.
Did you like what we had to say? Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I feel like you really articulated a lot of the things I was thinking.
Oh.
Wow, and that's what this podcast is.
That's what it's all about. We're going to use
Everyone's going to realize they hate Julianne more now because of me.
It's true.
I'm going to fight Julianne's corner, even though I don't really know anything about acting.
You don't have to know. I don't know anything about acting.
I don't either.
I just don't like a performance.
I feel like acting? I can. Hey, that's another corner.
Acting corner.
We should start acting corner next week. Maybe when Issa's our guest.
Yes. I keep forgetting that it's 11:30 for you guys. That's kind of nuts.
Yeah. We got to go to bed, mate.
You got to go to sleep. It's past your bedtime.
Yeah, we didn't even mention in the episode that this is after dark, you know.
Late night.
Michael said a very funny thing where he said, what did you say, Michael? You made a funny comment about it being late at night. Something about a lighthouse.
Oh, yeah. Shay and Jordan go boating after dark. So somebody better turn the lighthouse on.
That's great.
That's something like that, isn't it?
Someone better.
I don't think we could have a more perfect ending to the episode than that. So thank you very much, Michael, for being our guest.
Turn the lighthouse off.
We'll turn the lighthouse off and we'll go.
Whoa! Theatrics.
What have you got glowing in the dark there? That's
what
cool.
is that?
That's my Deliveroo jacket.
Oh, nice.
From the time you never became a Deliveroo driver.
Yeah, still got the jacket. I tried to sell the jacket, but they took it down on Vinted.
Yeah, I don't think you're allowed to do that.
You're not allowed to. Yeah. Got a black market that. He's gonna be on our Halloween
version for this because it's
there's a lot of great YouTube content here.
A lot of visual moments.
Absolutely. Well, okay, thank you and goodbye, and we'll see you next week for a very spooky episode.
Try not to get afraid. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye.